Our guest this week is Emma Broughton of Fairy Wren Embroidery. The show is sponsored by Sassy Jack Stitchery. Visit Sassy Jack's website at sassyjackstitchery.com to sign up for the Jeanette Kirtland 1821 Stitch Along, place your Nashville 2025 market order, and do that soon so Kim can order from the designers, and sign up for any of several 2025 workshops. Kim just announced a soiree bundle. You can register for the 4 remaining Sassafras Samplers Soiree Small Series events for a discounted fee of $230, a $25 savings. There's a firm limit of 100 students, so register soon. Also, Kim will be teaching a finishing class, and Sassy Jacks will have a shop at the Fiber Talk Needle Arts Weekend, March 21 to 23. Registration details are at wetalkfiber.com/weekend. Thanks to Kim and the folks at Sassy Jacks for sponsoring this week's show. Now our conversation with Emma Broughton of Fairy Wren Embroidery. All right, welcome back. I'm Gary Parr, and you are listening to Fiber Talk, the twice-weekly podcast for needlework artists. Our artist this week from the UK, Emma Broughton. Emma, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now, Emma, all right, this is the list. So a Royal School graduate, runner-up Society of Dyers and Colorists International Award, degree in Fashion and Interiors, University of Creative Arts, Visual Arts Association. You have a grant from the Arts Council of England that we're going to talk about. You're an RSN fellow, and we got to learn about that. I did not know there was fellow level, so we got to learn about that.
Okay.
Working on becoming Worshipful Company of Broderers member. 2 kids, a husband, and she still claims she sleeps. So
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Thanks.
And on top of it, her business, Fairy Wren Embroidery, which you just started last fall. So you're getting that off the ground too, and you still sleep. I'm impressed. All right, now,
Thank you.
all those things, but I think the coolest thing that I saw was when you were going through RSN school there, that your wedding dress and your tiara and veil, that you embroidered your wedding dress and you made your tiara for your wedding as part of your RSN projects. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We weren't actually engaged at the time, so it was interesting.
Anticipatory.
It was, yeah. Obviously, we'd had a bit of a discussion about it, so I kind of knew that was on the cards. But I really wanted to do a dress for my signature project, and I did try and ask if I could do like a miniature version, but I was told no. It had to be full size. So yeah, 10 meters of silk fabric and some Swarovski crystals, which actually were from a donation, which supposedly came from Shirley Bassey's Diamonds Off Leather dress. I don't know if that's true. I've got nothing to say it was, but yeah, it was good. It was good fun. A lot of hard work. I needed a big space, so I had to come in at the weekends to do some of it. Yeah, it was good.
And you had to do the full dress, the full deal. Okay.
I had to do the full dress, yeah. It didn't quite fit when I came to wear it, so I did have to adapt the back and make it lace up rather than button up. But I guess that made it a bit more historically accurate.
Okay. Well done. Yeah. So what? All right. So what's that like? I mean, and that was your principal project. So that was your showpiece of all the projects you had to do to get what with a certificate. What is your what's the actual designation?
Um, oh, I don't know what the actual certificate
I,
is.
I get them
A
confused all the time.
diploma. I think it's a diploma.
Diploma.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't accredited, so it would be degree level equivalent now, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but obviously, it wasn't accredited, so it can't be called a degree.
Yeah.
And that is why then after I left, I went on to do a degree so that I had that extra level of qualification,
Mm-hmm.
with the thought of potentially going into doing something like fashion. Um, didn't quite work out that way. It wasn't quite what I wanted to do in the end, but I'm still glad I did the degree because I've learned so much that I'm now starting to bring into my business as well and into embroidery. So it, even though it was a very different program, there is so much that's transferable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. So the RSN diploma is now it's a certified thing. So it's actually in the education world a equivalent of a degree.
So they've got the degree program running now, and then they've also got the professional embroidery tutor program
Okay.
running, which I think is again like a diploma, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
But I mean,
it's always gray area. I never quite get it. Yeah.
it is. I mean, the amount of hours that I put into doing the apprenticeship compared to my degree is like so much more. I mean, I would sometimes be up till 1 a.m. working
Yeah.
on homework
So
between classes.
so
So
the formal degree was a cakewalk then.
it was almost, yeah.
Now, when you went, that's interesting when you, because we've talked to several people, a lot of RSN graduates who have fashion degrees in one way or another, or have worked in the fashion world, and they've all left it. Everyone we've talked to has all left it, got a taste of it, didn't care for it, didn't work out, didn't like the pressure, the hours, the environment, whatever it was. But every one of them seemed to have taken quite a bit out of that was very useful. And it sounds like just in your degree work that you learned a lot that is useful in your embroidery work.
Yeah, absolutely. So my degree focused more on dyeing fabrics and weaving, screen printing. So there's a lot that I can kind of take from that and about fabric design as well. So, for instance, my mushroom box, which I think you can see behind me, I actually designed the fabric um, for the inside of that because the difficulties with using fabrics is that they tend to get discontinued. So, this way, I can order as much as I want, whenever I want,
Yeah. Why don't you grab
and
that
not
box?
be.
Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how well it will show up on the camera. So let me see.
Yeah. Back up a little
So
bit
that's
there.
the.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
there we go. So that's
Yeah.
the inside. So that's the fabric, and that's a repeating pattern that I made for of the lid.
Oh boy. Look at that.
So
That's
I've
beautiful.
taken elements from the lid and rearranged it into a
Yeah.
repeating fabric. So, and I'm glad I did because the first time I taught this class, I actually needed to order 29 meters of it to cover the kits. So,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, it was definitely a good job to do that.
Yeah. Well, now that we're on the boxes, there's so many things to talk about, but now that we're on the boxes, that's kind
Yeah.
of one of your primary in the fairy red embroidery. That's one of your primary designs and kits and classes, right? So how did the whole
Yeah.
box thing come to be?
So when my eldest started preschool, I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do with this extra time? 15 hours might not seem like a lot, but you can cram a lot in there if you're organized. So I actually approached a publishing company because I saw that there was a gap in the market for a new box making book.
Mm-hmm.
There was obviously Jane Lemon's one, which I know is quite well known. I don't know if it's in print anymore. I do have a copy, but it is different in the way that she does the construction to the way that we do construction. So I just sent them an email, didn't hear anything back because it went to my junk box.
Oh, jeez.
Um, but luckily, I spotted it in time and I got them a redone synopsis and everything, and it just went from there really. So yeah, I spent the whole year that my son was in preschool writing that book.
Oh, okay. All right, and so we have a book for making these boxes, and are the
Yeah.
boxes wood or fiberboard or what is the base?
So they are a cardboard.
Okay.
So it's just it's conservation standard board, so it's acid free, so it shouldn't affect the fabrics. Although we do use double sided tape, so again that can have a little bit of bearing on the longevity,
Mm-hmm.
but they're all hand stitched together once they're cut. So even if the tape fails, the thread should hold everything
Yeah.
together.
Uh-huh. So if I buy an embroidered box kit, then I get the pre-cut panels. Are they already cut, or do I get to cut them?
No, you get to cut them.
Oh, joy.
I know, I know. I have thought about maybe trying to get things pre-cut. I like the idea of having a laser cutter, but the problem with having pre-cut panels is that the way you construct the boxes, there there are elements that can change.
Okay.
And so if you have pre-cut sizes, if you need it 1-2 millimeters bigger, you
Oh,
can't do that.
oh,
You can
yeah.
make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger. So
Right.
yeah, so you have the fun of doing the maths and working out, particularly with the hexagon box, that does need a little bit of maths to work out the angles and the sides and everything.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I enjoy about the challenge of making a box,
Mm-hmm.
even though I do embroidery. I kind of enjoy the challenge of the maths and working it all out
Right.
and turning something that I've drawn in paper and making it real, especially
Yeah.
when it's 3D.
Yeah. So I get in the kit. Then I get some cloth to cover the panels, and
Yeah,
the fiberboard, the cardboard. I'm sure it's more than just corrugated cardboard. It's a good
yeah,
solid material. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah,
And then a design that I can embroider for the top. Are there
yeah.
designs for the sides too, or just the top?
So the mushroom box, it's just the top.
Okay.
Um, yeah, there isn't anything on the side as such. Just trying
Okay.
to. There's like a little drawer that you can pull out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Neat. And
So
so, oh, I see.
yeah,
So all those edges, everything is covered with fabric. Then, oh, they're beautiful.
yeah, everything is covered with fabric.
Wow, gorgeous. Yeah. And then, how many boxes do you have? You have that one, and how many others?
So I've got one more just behind me. This one's just a little tiny one. Gosh, this one's going to be
Back
taught
up a little bit.
online. There we go.
There we go. Oh
So
yeah.
that one's going to be taught online and in person um, with the RSN.
Uh huh.
I can't remember the exact dates. And then I've got all the ones from my book.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think there's probably 8 to 10. I can't remember the exact number.
In the book.
But I'm in the book, yeah. And there's all the instructions for those in the book, step
And
by step.
the book very clearly titled Embroidered Boxes. So there's no
Yes.
question what the book does. It's
No.
embroidered
Yeah.
boxes. Yeah. So then if I'm going to do one of those boxes, even if I buy a kit, sounds to me like it would be really helpful to have the book as a companion then.
It would, but I mean, all my kits come with detailed instructions
Yeah.
anyway, for the specific box. So the mushroom box is almost another book in itself in the instructions. It's over 130 pages.
Oh, geez.
Um, so yeah,
So
so
then,
everything you need.
so then, if I'm the creative type, if I get the book, then I can mix and match designs with different boxes and different sizes and do all kinds of things. Then,
Yeah, definitely. There's a whole chapter about designing your own. So
yeah, okay,
you can do your own. I've had some lovely pictures sent to me from people that have made their own boxes using my book. So yeah,
yeah,
it's really nice. So
yeah.
yeah, if any of your followers have any that they've done, I would love to see them.
As a designer, that's got to be, I would think, one of the most enjoyable parts about it is seeing what people do with the inspiration from your work.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, when I did the mushroom box for the first time, there were some people that didn't want to do the exact same design, and so that's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. I had a really lovely purple box. They used the same embroidery, but they used purple threads, which were from, I think, one of the RSN 150th anniversary thread
Oh,
kits
uh
that
huh.
they sent out. So yeah, it was really nice to see what other people want to do.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I just got to believe as a designer, you put a design out and all the shifts and changes that people put in come back, and it's just like, oh, I could have done that, or I would have. Yeah, I'm sure that it's even for you. It's like, oh, let me go try that and see if I can. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what fun! Yeah. So we have Fairy Wren. Then you have the boxes and the business itself. You just started last fall, so that was an outgrowth. What you just ideas build up, and you say, hey, I need to start teaching classes, and I've got my own ideas for designs, and then it becomes a company. Or did you sit down and say, I'm going to create a company and figure it out after that?
Um, I created a business and then I figured it out after that.
Okay.
I've just been sort of, putting feelers out there. It started doing a class for the EGA, and then it's just really grown from there. So I really wanted to do this sooner. COVID kind of threw a curveball in there, and I didn't, get to kind of, because my book was published in 2019, and then I had my youngest son um, in 2020, and then COVID hit, and my plans to continue building on the book while he was asleep just didn't happen. Homeschooling. so so yeah, so it didn't quite happen then, but I always had it in the back of my mind that this was something that I really wanted to do and I really wanted to get into. So yeah, so as soon as he was kind of old enough and started, because of COVID, we got him in preschool earlier. And then I just built solely on whatever hours that I had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just fitting it in like moms do. Yeah.
Yeah, like we do.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the business now, what you offer obviously the boxes, but then you offer other classes
Yeah.
online and in person. Tell me a little bit about what it is.
Yeah, so I do a wide variety of different classes. I love so many different embroidery techniques. It's just a matter of coming up with all the ideas, putting everything together. It takes quite a long time to develop a kit. But I've got so many ideas. I think I've got 3 that I'm working on now for the summer school, which I'm really, really excited about. And then I've got another 3, 4 designs that are just sat there waiting to kind of
Uh-huh.
get started, and, waiting for a reason to kind of, put them into action, as it were.
Yeah. So standard designer, you got more ideas than time. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But, I'll keep putting them all down, and, it's good to have a bank, really, because then if someone says to you, okay, we're going to do this seminar in this date, and then you've got time to kind of process it, and you've got something right there that you can say, oh, what about this?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
Now, summer school, so you're still doing a lot of work with the RSN then?
Yes, yes, I'm doing a lot of work with them for the summer school, and then moving forward from September, some of the other class designs that I've got sat waiting to be worked on hopefully will be in next year's schedule. So they really liked them. It was just a matter of choosing which ones they
Yeah.
wanted for when, really. So I've got that, and then I'm also hopefully going to be starting teaching on the certificate and diploma as well.
Oh, okay.
So that will be good. Kind of regular teaching.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. So you must live near the palace then, that you can go there without too much trouble?
um, well, in UK terms, it's probably not. I don't know. It takes me about an hour and 20 to drive there. I
Oh.
think that's not too bad. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. If
Yeah.
I went on the train, it would take me a lot longer, but
Oh, okay. All right.
driving there is not too bad.
Yeah.
But I know in the US, you tend to think that's probably a, Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
driving.
It
You
depends.
do
Yeah.
a lot further.
Yeah, it
So
depends. We do tend to accept long distances, yeah. But an hour 20, I mean, that's a healthy commute, no matter where you're living.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yep. So,
But we teach 10 till 4, so it's not too bad.
oh, okay. So you teach a regular schedule at the palace then, or is it intermittent?
At the moment, it's intermittent, but I'm hoping that if I can start doing some of the mixed C&D classes, maybe as a second tutor, then hopefully I'll be able to get up there a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So teaching, you enjoy teaching then?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's really good, especially when there's someone that sort of says they really can't do something, and then you show them again, and then you watch them just click.
Yeah.
It just clicks with them, and it's so lovely. I've been doing some of the family workshops that they offer for free, and I had this lady come up saying that I've had so many people teach me how to do French knots, and I just cannot do them. And I showed her once, and then I sat and talked her through it as she was doing it, and helped her correct her tension, and just to see the look on her face, because she was honestly convinced that she wasn't going to be able to do it.
Uh-huh.
To see the look on her face when she managed to do it, it was
Yeah.
just made the whole day worth it. Honestly,
Yep.
yeah, I love it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a former school teacher long ago, and that's all that matters when it comes to teaching. All the hassle, all the preparation, all the whatever goes into it. It's those moments that makes it all worth it when you turn the light on for somebody. Yep, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty special. Yeah, and especially if
it
it's an
is.
adult who's struggled like that and with French knots, the most
Yeah,
hated stitch in the world. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. Oh boy, that must have been fun when I can imagine the look. Oh, there it is.
It
Yep.
was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So is online teaching, do you tolerate it, or do you find it something you've adapted to and it works okay for you? Because some people just really don't like it.
I really like it actually. It does have its downsides, in the sense that you can't be there physically with the person. You can't see what they're doing. But the way that I schedule my sessions is that I don't do them any more than 2.5 hours. I think it's too long to do longer than that personally. But the good thing with that is that even on a day class, so that will be split into two sessions. I always say to them, please, please send me pictures because I can't see with you holding it up to your camera. I can't see the detail that
Right.
I can do in a picture. So please send me some pictures and then I can address any issues in the next class, or I can send you an email back um, privately if you prefer, so that then I can help pick up those things that I can't do
Mm-hmm.
because it's online.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. For some, that's the frustration of online. Is if you could just be over their shoulder, you could save them so much hassle, and you can't do that. So that's how you handle it. Then just send me pictures. We'll sort it out.
Yeah, that's how I handle it, and I'm looking into maybe getting like a second number so that people can just WhatsApp me during the class because
Oh,
I think that would be really helpful. A lot of people have WhatsApp, um, but to have that instant connection rather than having to go on the computer and upload a photo, you can just send it over to me and then I can deal with it straight away.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The immediacy. Yeah, that's just it. That's the drawback. Is if they got to send you photos and then an email, and you got to take all the time to describe what you could have said in 30 seconds. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Well, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we probably wouldn't have online, but online teaching has really changed the whole game across the world. It's really made a difference.
It
It's allowed
has.
so many people who couldn't take classes to get involved. It's to me, it's worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've got some lovely students that have joined me from the US and now they're coming over to do in-person
Uh,
classes. And I think if they hadn't done the online, they probably wouldn't, it's a lot of time and cost to come over here. Um, but doing the online and getting that taster of how it is
yeah,
and how we work, yeah, it's definitely opened
yeah,
doors for people.
yeah, yeah. Well, and then for you, the reach that you now have that you didn't have uh, without online teaching, like you said, the U.S. I mean, anywhere in the world, you can teach a class, which prior to that, no way you could do it. They have to come see you. So, or you go see
No,
them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm hoping to start teaching for the certificate and diploma courses online. And I'm looking because my kids get up early, so I'm looking at doing the Australian time zone, which is about 8:30 here in the UK in the
Yep.
morning. So that's not too bad. My kids get me up at 6:30, so plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, I forget. We raised two kids. I forget when that transitions to you can't get them out of the bed. But there's a point where it goes the other way. Yeah, it's like get
Oh yeah,
up.
my kids are 5 and nearly 11, so I've kind of got both ends of the
Oh,
scale at the moment, so I get that. Yeah.
oh, you're in that middle ground. Ouch, ouch.
Yeah.
uh, so talk to me about now the RSN fellow.
Yes.
That's new? Is that a newer level?
Yeah, so
What is in that? What's that all about?
it's not a level as such. So the RSN Fellowship is a new professional association. So they brought that out. It was July last year. So it's sort of like I'm trying to think. If you were like a filmmaker, you might join an association.
Okay.
So it's a professional. It's a it's a specifically for those of us that are part of the apprenticeship,
Mm-hmm.
that are part of the professional tutor program, and then there will be a selected number of individuals that are invited to join that have met the criteria that is set out by the program. But it's just a way of helping set us apart from those that have maybe done another route.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then there's years of service that are attached to that. So I've got 5 years of service for mine because I did the book. And then I've slowly been teaching over the last few years. So they felt that it was appropriate to award me the 5 years. I didn't want to say that my time was from when I finished the apprenticeship, because I wasn't fully doing things to help promote the art of hand embroidery
Oh,
after that time. And I felt that it wouldn't have been fair on the other apprentices that graduated with me that have done a lot more of that,
yeah.
to kind of put myself in the 15-year bracket that
Oh,
they
okay. Uh-huh.
that they are in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you did because you went to school after you got after you finished at the RSN, right? You went and got your degree.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not sell
Yeah.
that short here. let's
Yeah.
let's give you
But
full
it's
credit
not
for
hand
that.
embroidery.
Yeah.
But it's not hand embroidery, and the fellowship is about promoting hand embroidery specifically.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some continuous professional development that we do within that as well, to retain our accreditation.
Okay. Now, is it another aspect of that some kind of ambassadorship for the RSN? I mean, is it are you kind of a
Yeah.
spokesperson? That's so that plays
Well,
in
not
too.
really a spokesperson as such, but if I'm doing posts on social media that is specifically for about my work with the RSN, then I can use the hashtag, um, and make it clear that I am sort of partly on behalf of them, even
Right.
though I'm freelance.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's pretty neat. Yeah. I just
Yeah,
every time I turn around, the RSN has some new aspect that I learn about, and it's just such an impressive organization. And it I think the coolest thing is as old as it is and as steeped in history as the RSN is, it is one organization that is always moving forward, always
absolutely.
finding new ways. It's just the neatest thing. We just did a thing about the a couple weeks ago about the book, the 200 stitch book, and the stitch
Yeah,
bank. And that stitch bank is just for stitchers all over the world. What a tremendous resource! Anybody who's not using that on a regular basis is just completely missing out. And I mean that's the RSN just making embroidery available to everyone. It's just the best. Yeah.
absolutely. And, that is a completely free resource to use. I direct all my students onto it if they are stuck on anything between classes. Um, and, generous donations have funded it. We're going to be, I think, releasing another 25. It's sort of every quarter they tend to release them.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be another 25 released soon, which I think will bring the total up to 475 stitches
Yeah.
on there. I mean, who knew?
Right.
I probably haven't done even a quarter of that. I mean, I haven't totaled up all the different types of stitches, but yeah, there's probably so many on there that even I don't know. So
Yeah.
I do go on there and look at it myself, even as a tutor, for those stitches that I need a refresher on or ones that I haven't done before, just to make sure that I am getting everything correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and one thing I discovered when we did the show about the book was that I did not know about the stitch bank is you can set up your own little library and store your own stitches in there, and just brilliant. So that was
Oh, even I didn't know that.
oh
So
okay, yeah, you can do
yeah,
that.
I learned something new. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Thank
have
you.
your own little library of stitches. It's yeah, they were really thinking when they put that together. It's really good. Yeah, yeah, most impressive. All right, now the other thing, you're working to become a member of the Worshipful Company of Broderers. Now that's a big deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so that's quite a new thing. So I went to my second event literally only a week and a half ago, something like that, which was a dinner. And so I'm just waiting now to get the rest of the application so that I can make a start on the rest of the process. But
Okay.
it's really good. I'm really keen to get started on that.
Now, are you invited to apply? Is that that level of a thing where you not everybody even gets to join?
Yeah, so you do need to know someone, and this is one of the great things with being out in Lexington last year was that usually we don't get to see that many of the other tutors unless you're on a regular basis. And the lovely Sarah Derusat Hall was out in Lexington with me, and we were talking about the Broderers and invited me to come and to one of their drinks events. She's one of the secretaries. She's a liveryman, and so I went to one of their first events, and that was back at. It was amazing, really. It was in the Tower of London,
Oh,
and that was back in October, all after it's closed. So yeah, it was a bit scary, kind of walking in there after dark with its history,
yeah,
but yeah, it was really great. It was really good fun.
yeah.
So yeah.
Now tell about that organization. What does it do? Is it just a like it can't? It's got to be more than just a club. I mean, that's there's got to be more to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so it's a charitable organisation. So when I join, part of my sort of entry fee will be a charitable donation to go towards um, any of their sort of outreach projects that they do. So one of the things that they fund, as I mentioned before, is the RSN Family Day workshops. So those are completely free for attendees.
Hmm.
We go to another venue. Um, I did one at a castle last year, and we have thread and needles and a design, and we teach children and adults, whoever comes along, um, to work some stitches, and they can choose what they want to do. Generally with children, especially if they're younger, I tend to stick with more of like a back stitch or a running stitch,
Hmm.
chain stitch, something that's a little bit more easier for them to get used to start off with. And the adults with them, yeah, they join in as well. So yeah, so the Broderers fund that, and I'm sure there's lots of other wonderful projects that I haven't found out about yet. um, they've got an exhibition on in London at the moment as well, promoting the art of hand embroidery. So yeah.
Plenty. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
lots.
neat because I have said to other RSN graduates that when you go through that grueling program, this is just my perception, that one thing you learn is that you either absolutely love needlework or you don't. I mean that program is so
You
much
don't
that it's,
finish it.
yeah, yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't finish it.
Right, exactly. And so then obviously you went with the love part, but but
Yeah,
but that's opened so many doors for you career wise to really explore what you love, and it's just neat.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm sure 1 o'clock in the morning stitching will weed out the people who hate it in a hurry.
yeah, absolutely. And the sore fingers and thumbs, and you know, yeah,
Yep. But well, I mean that's a good course will do that anyway. But yeah,
yeah.
and so that all of these things, then, I got to believe, just are constant inspiration for your own work with Fairy Wren. Just interacting with people who are stitching all the time. Just you must go home with your mind just spinning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah. Sometimes you just can't believe. You just think, why didn't I think of that? That is just, I'm always learning, and whether it's, from other tutors or from other students, I'm always learning new things.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find that with all the tutors, there's a real sharing community there? I mean, is there a lot of give and take all the time with all of you graduates? I mean, there's tons of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Some more than others, but yeah, we are a community, and there's so much that people that have been doing this for a lot longer can share, and they do. And it's been really good. So um as part of my lead up to being a C&D tutor, is that I've been observing some of the other tutors
Mm-hmm.
teaching online, and that's been really, really useful.
Yeah, yeah. The uh, the Blackwork portrait project.
Yes.
I saved time so we could make sure and talk about this. I mean, this is, from what little I could read, this is really cool. Take us through this project and the grant and what you're doing with it and the exhibition, because this looks like top shelf stuff here.
Yeah, so I really want to bring embroidery to the forefront of art. I want it to be a more recognized as an art form, rather than, if you say someone that you're doing embroidery, you tend to get people thinking, oh, you're just going to be sitting there knitting or crocheting, or you know doing, I don't know, blankets, or
Right.
not artwork. People don't necessarily traditionally think of it as artwork when you speak to them, if they don't know much about it. And so I want to kind of challenge the the way that embroidery is viewed as an art form. Um, so this project, which I applied for the grant back in, was it last? No, it would have been 2 years ago now, in the summer. I had been thinking about doing another Blackwork piece for quite a long time. I really wanted. I felt that it was one of my best techniques,
Okay.
apart from the box making. But I really wanted to have an opportunity to kind of redo my piece. Um, Even though I felt it was one of my best pieces, the subject matter is kind of against what I'm now doing
Mm-hmm.
in terms of my subject choice. And
Okay.
so I kind of wanted to redo it
All right. So back up a little bit. So this
yeah,
stems from the Blackwork piece that you did for the certificate when you were at the RSN.
for the apprenticeship. Yeah.
Okay. And
Um,
so you felt that you could take that to a different level.
yeah. So not just take it to a different level, but um, it's not a piece that I can kind of have on display anymore. Well, I haven't ever been able to put it on display. So I really just wanted an opportunity to redo that. But as part of that, I then got thinking about, why do I want to redo this, and what do I want to achieve? Like, um, I want to kind of not only use it as a way of redoing, but also a way of doing it for a purpose
Mm-hmm.
and getting a message out there that I want to say, which is different to my tutor work and different kind of to my RSN side of work that I do. And the grant enabled me to have the time and space to develop that. Um, Susan K. Williams was amazing. I sent a few emails asking for recommendations because you need someone to write a letter for you as part of the application. And she was the only one who actually returned my email. Um, she she emails back like almost instantly whenever you send her an email.
Right.
So yeah, so she emailed me back straight away, and
Well, and
happily,
for people who don't know, Susan K. Williams, recently retired chief executive of the Royal School of Needlework, one of the great people in the world. I have to say, every time I've talked with her, just a just a mountain of knowledge and a wonderful person. And you're right, she does respond. You send an email and she is right back to you. Yeah, she's just a
yeah.
terrific person. Yes.
Yeah, so she wrote my letter of recommendation. We had a bit of a discussion about what I was trying to achieve, that I wanted to create this portrait. I didn't at that time have a specific idea about the subject matter, only that I wanted it to resonate with people and challenge, contemporary society, as well as obviously challenging the view of embroidery as an art form. So she was more than happy to do that for me. And honestly, it's so competitive. I didn't think I was going to get it. But when I did, honestly, I was just, yeah, I was ecstatic. And then I was thinking, oh my God, how am I going to get all this done in 1 year? Um, but luckily, the funding opened up the opportunity for my son to go to preschool more, which gave me more of
Ah.
that time. And then I also made sure, in terms of teaching, that what I was offering was at a manageable level, that I could work between it. Because this Blackwork project, from start to finish, with the design process and mounting, has taken me over 300 hours.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so
So,
tell about where you landed with the artwork that you're doing. What these portraits are women. Tell about
yes.
how you landed on what you're doing.
So, as I said, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just art for art. I wanted to give a message in there. And I think, especially with things like the Me Too movement, there's been a lot of good things happening. And it's not that I wanted to kind of ride on that wave as such, but I really want to create an empowering message with my work. And I think using like popular culture references, and also, actresses or well-known figures that have been through similar things in my work, is is a way of not only being able to, I don't want to do another portrait of, like, say, myself or someone that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use it to spread a powerful message. And, like it or not, people that, actresses and people that are in the public eye have the ability to do that a
Mm-hmm.
lot more than, say, if I was just to do a portrait of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so a part of the decision as well was, you know, I'm a woman. I can only really comment on my own experiences
Mm-hmm.
and my own view of the world. And therefore, that really is the direction that I chose to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now these are big. Who did you do first? Who was your first one?
So I sent you the picture. I think
Yeah.
you got that. Hopefully, you got that. So my first portrait, which I haven't shared with the world yet. It's going to be going out with my newsletter Friday, and then the RSN newsletter on Sunday. So it ties in quite nicely with the timing of this show.
Okay.
So my first portrait is Elizabeth Olsen. Not Elizabeth Olsen. What am I thinking about? Elizabeth Moss
Okay.
from The Handmaid's Tale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do know that this is going to be a love it or hate it piece with the theme. But and generally speaking, we, especially at the RSM, we tend to keep things like this, like politics and things, out of, like, I haven't shown this to any of my students. I keep that side all completely separate.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, for me, watching the show, seeing that particular image on the screen was just, it was so powerful, and I just really felt drawn to it. And there are a lot of other people that I want to also do pieces of. It won't necessarily be from the same theme
Uh-huh.
as The Handmaid's Tale. There is a model over here. I don't know, you may or may not have heard of her, Katie Piper.
No. No,
She's
not my world. Yeah.
no, no. Well, she was a model, but she was a victim of quite horrific acid attack, and I would
Oh.
love to do
Oh.
a piece on her. She's just such a big inspiration. What she's done and continues to do for people, women particularly, and yeah. So I'd love to do her. Um, there's so many people
Yeah.
that I have
So
on my list that I'd like to do.
so this first one, and then so your plan is that this is a long-term series of
Yeah.
recognizing women who have played in some way a role in the overall female situation in the world. And
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I want to say plight, but I don't think that's the right word. But anyway, what?
Empowerment.
Yeah, empowerment. There we go.
Empowerment.
Yeah.
Empowerment, and is kind of the theme that I'm going for.
Mm-hmm. So to recognize these, and these are big pieces, right?
This piece is huge. It is big.
Like
So
life
it
size.
just I think almost.
Almost. Okay.
I mean, I just held a copy of it next to my head and thinking, is that about life size? But yeah, it just about fit in my 24-inch slate frame. I had to roll it in to be able to reach the middle, and then then unroll it as I worked out, and then I had to turn it and rotate it depending on which bit I was trying to work on. But yeah, it's huge. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's neatly packed away, waiting to go to the framer tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Now the Blackwork. You said you wanted to basically take another shot at Blackwork after your certificate work. Do you
Yeah,
feel like that you with this? Did you feel like you've redeemed yourself, or at least got yourself to where you want to
absolutely,
be?
absolutely,
Okay.
100%. I am so pleased with how this turned out. The pictures really don't do it justice.
Uh,
It is so hard to photograph. Uh, it is going to be on display. So it is going to be in an exhibition in Bristol, at the Royal West Academy.
yeah.
And that's going to be from the 16th of May to the 13th of June. And that is with my fellow alumni from the RSN. There's a group of about 20 of us, and it's all completely self-funded, not for profit. So yeah, so if you're in the area, definitely get down and see that.
Yeah. It's called Women Unbound: A Story of Female Empowerment. That's the
No,
exhibition. No, that's I got that wrong.
no.
That's your
Yeah.
series.
So that's my series.
That's your
That's my
series.
aim.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but this is only the first piece, so I need a lot more before I can think about maybe doing my own exhibition. No, so we've called our exhibition Hand Stitch Heritage.
Oh, okay.
And there's going to be a wide range of work, some of which is from when people did their apprenticeship, and um, some is work that they've done after. So mine is all after. So I've got the Blackwork portrait, and then as a complete contrast, I'm also putting in my fairy wren silk shading.
Oh,
So you can kind of see two sides, I probably spin quite a few different plates, and yeah, I have two different styles and I love both of them. So yeah.
okay. So the exhibition May 16 to June 13 at the Royal West Academy, and
Yeah.
then the first piece of your series, which is Women Unbound: A Story of Female Empowerment. That'll be there. That's the Handmade Tale one, and then your
Yeah.
Fairy Wren. And then it sounds to me like if I could get to London, it would be a tremendous exhibit. Then, if you're going to have a bunch of colleagues all from the Royal School showing their, I'm sure, best work, that's got to be wow. Ooh,
Yeah, so that's going to be in Bristol rather than in London. But yeah, there's about 20 of us and we get two spaces each.
okay.
So yeah, so there's going to be 40 different pieces. Yeah.
40 of what I think we could
Yeah.
safely say is some of the best needlework that you can find. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't find as good probably anywhere else
I
in the
would not
world.
think. Yeah. Yeah. So that that'll open would probably be a reception to open it up and
Yeah. Unfortunately, I am teaching, which was
oh,
scheduled before, so I can't make the opening night, which is such a shame because the one of the things with doing the Blackwork piece that I found out almost kind of the hard way is to do with copyright, and Hulu don't answer emails, so
right.
um, so I think I'm okay with that because I'm not selling it.
Right.
But one of my emails that did get answered was from the cinematographer who actually shot the footage.
Mhm.
And he's based in the UK. So he said that his name's Stuart Biddlecombe, and he said that he's going to try and get to the exhibition. So it's such a
Oh.
shame that I couldn't actually invite him to the opening night because I live about an hour and a half away from Bristol, and I finished teaching at 4:30, and the reception is at 6.
Ooh, you could make it.
So I could maybe, but the traffic past Stonehenge is awful. So I can't guarantee that I'd make it.
Cut the class
So
short.
yeah.
15 minutes. People will understand. Say, hey, this is a big deal. Sorry, I owe you 15 minutes on the next one. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, got to be there. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting. That's so exciting.
Yeah,
So
it
then,
is.
as the series goes along, as your Blackwork series goes along, then you have a target of doing your own exhibit somewhere. Is that kind of the plan, or a book, or what are you looking at?
I think probably both. I think I would love to do an exhibition. Um, I really wanted to be able to enter a competition in London at the National Portrait Gallery,
Mm.
but unfortunately, it's restricted to painting.
Oh,
And this is part of the reason why I really want to just challenge this concept of what art is.
right.
You know, if you look at my Blackwork piece, from a distance, it could look like a drawing. It
Yeah.
it it is so detailed in its shading that it could look like a drawing or a painting, but it's using thread instead. And it's so frustrating as an artist to not be able to enter something just because I don't fit into the medium.
Right.
So I'd love to potentially one day have an exhibit at the National Portrait Gallery. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but if you don't have a dream,
Right.
then
That's right.
yeah.
Oh, that's so frustrating, that whole art thing. And we've had this discussion with other artists, other needlework artists. It's just not viewed, that women's work label that just gets dragged around with it. And and it's art. It's just a different medium, and people think nothing of sculpting or pencil drawing or painting or any number of things. But then you get the needle and thread out, and all of a sudden it doesn't qualify, and it's so frustrating.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tempted just to paint the background and then enter it and hope that that's enough.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have a play.
Yeah.
I like to experiment, so
Yep.
we'll see. And then maybe that will get the piece,
Right.
where it should be.
Where it should be, right. Yeah.
But the other thing in contrast with an exhibition is, having a book. And the good thing with a book is that anyone can buy it and look at it and see it. Not everyone can go to an exhibition, and it's only there for a limited time.
Right.
So there is the potential to do that and then show a lot more of my process as well. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep.
I've already got my next portrait planned. I haven't started it yet. But yeah, I'm very excited about this one. I'm slightly disappointed because I actually contacted the agent of the person who it is, and they said, if you can get permission from the photographer of the image that you want to use, then come back to us and let us know. And actually, very kindly, the photographer, Tim Walker, gave me permission within 2 days, and I emailed them back, and then I've heard nothing.
Oh.
So I'm very frustrated, but I'm going to keep trying, and he's given me permission to use his photograph, not in, I can't print it or anything like that,
Right.
but I can use it for inspiration. So, because again, a lot of these exhibitions and competitions, they require you to have these permissions in place.
Sure.
So we'll see how it goes, and maybe once it's done, maybe she might change her mind and contact me back. So
right. Yeah, I guess you just have to plow ahead and not let these things get in the way of your dream and your plans. Yeah.
No, exactly. And, that's another reason why I want to join the Broderers as well, because I think that will open up a few more doors, as well as wanting to give back to the charity element of it as well.
Right. Yeah. All right, Emma, we're going to have to stop. And there's another hour.
Okay.
There's another hour easy of stuff that we could talk about. We're going to have to stop. FairyWrenEmbroidery.com is the website. Buy a box from Emma. Take a class from Emma. All kinds of things. And we'll be watching for that exhibit and watching as your series develops. It's going to be pretty neat.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to Emma, and thanks to everyone for listening.